We're going to just go ahead and do our Course in Miracles lesson and let you know that you all are not good people, honestly. I mean, it's like Jesse Ventura, who kills my boyfriend, my husband, Chris, because he embarrassed him in a bar. Because they all know they all think they know reincarnation is real. However, those that are doing this murdering bullshit, they ain't coming back. You ain't coming back, Jesse Ventura. You ain't coming back for all the shit you've done to us, and you a political figure too. So you think that what you're doing in this life doesn't have any repercussions on the other side. Well, guess what? After you killed all these COVID people, they got really pissed off and they stopped protecting you. They stopped protecting you from them, and it just got worse. So this world was on the way to fucking destruct until I lied on the couch and battled your asses for months, days, and years, telling I don't fucking think so, because God will win. And in his way, he always does, whether it is destroying this planet. See, you think you know shit, but you don't know shit. You don't know when, what, who. The door to the devil of hell is closed. Oh yeah, we were supposed to be reading the Dream and Reality. Y'all work with hell, fools. Just to let you know, I think I can actually enter into the space of hell, and they all shiver in fear. I'm sorry, I'm in hell right now, abusing the people that belong in hell. As they attempt to try to hit me in the head. Yeah, right, fuckface. Nice try. Because hell is here on earth too, you know. The Dream and the Reality Introduction. To substitute is to accept instead. If you would but consider exactly what this entails, you would perceive at once how much in variance this is with the goal the Holy Spirit has given you and what accomplished for you. To substitute is to be chosen between. Renouncing one in favor of the other for this special purpose, one is judged more valuable and the other is replaced by him. The relationship in which the substitution occurs is thus fragmented and its purpose split accordingly. To fragment is to exclude, and substitution is the strongest defense the ego has for separation. What is separation? Separation is separating yourself from God. I don't believe in God. All right, bye. The Holy Spirit never uses substitutes. Where the ego perceives one person as a replacement for another, the Holy Spirit sees them joined and indivisible. He does not judge between them, and knowing they are one. Being united, they are one because they are the same. Substitution is clearly a process in which they are perceived as different. One would unite, the other separate. Nothing can come between what God has joined and what the Holy Spirit sees as one. Meaning when you got here, you were fucking evil. That's a fact. This is a battleground of good versus evil. But everything seems to come between the fragmented relationship the ego sponsors to destroy. So who went with ego? Some of you actually, you have the opportunity when you came here to turn good. Like my good friend who was evil and is now good. Meaning she was like a Kardashian trajectory. However, because she became my friend and became a true friend, instead of being the money mongrel that was planned for her initially, I saved her ass. The same thing goes for Gary Vaynerchuk. The one emotion in which substitution is impossible is love. Fear involves substitution by definition, for it's love's replacement. Fear is both a fragmented and a fragmenting emotion. It seems to take many forms, and each seems to require a different form of acting out for satisfaction. While this appears to introduce quite variable behavior, a far more serious effect lies in the fragmented perception from which the behavior stems. No one is seen complete. The body is emphasized with special emphasis on certain parts and used as a standard for comparison for either acceptance or rejection of suitability for acting out a special form of fear. I was going to say something else. Shoot. I can't touch my earbuds because they always turn off and then this video stops. Who you believe, okay, substitution as a defense. So this is actually a battle strategy against the evil. Battle strategy against the evil, seeing the truth that God is love. You are with God if you're not separated. And then you're able to see toxic, it's like seeing things though, right? You see them, you speak it, you call them out, dissipate it, or used to be like that. However, now you don't say anything. You live in a fear-based society, and then they exalt into a series called Paper Girls. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Do you not see what's going on here? I'm like, you know, my generation, we had Bachelor. This Bachelor they have now ain't the Bachelor, okay? We had The Real World. Those are real people. It was the first reality show, and then it turned into the Kardashian. You literally can watch this episode, or I only watched the preview, right? I don't watch that show. It's stupid as shit. And you can watch Kendall getting up from the table, pretending to be upset, going, I'm over this. And that's your television. However, it's a mind fuck because you think it's real. However, it's a show, like a soap opera. However, it's real because they're really like that. Fist fighting? Then it becomes a representation of what you see for your partnership, y'all. You want to get that they all learned it from Kim Kardashian as they hated her guts along the way. They hate your guts, Kim Kardashian. They hate your guts, Kourtney. Travis hates your guts. Tristan hates your guts, you ugly, weird-looking thing. You are ugly, all of you. It's disgusting to watch her literally, this is her manipulating Tristan. He's sitting over there and like far away from her on the couch. So you can totally tell that he cannot stand her. He's got to be undercover. It's like, oh my God. Okay. So he's going, he's just sitting there like this. And she's going, we have to start this relationship with trust. You're kidding me, right? You literally sent Scott to rehab, and then you said private things that you heard from the therapist, and it leaked out because Kourtney leaked it. That's their relationships. Yet you don't say nothing and you put them on Hulu. And then you pretend like they're popular and that we care what they think. Do we care about Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian? No, we do not. Pete Davidson belongs with Miley Cyrus. And not because they are a paid relationship, it's because you can see the chemistry. And then they play it out, see if it works, and then if... I just saw a baby. And then they see how it works. But then the other aspect of it is they try to hide emotions that are real human emotions, which then actually sends the relationship into out of integrity because you're always trying to hide stuff. But again, that's what the corporate and the managers and all your people around you wanted you to believe that was normal, and that shit ain't normal. Because they didn't train you along the way in your development. They're trying to kill y'all to get what they want out of you, and then to kill you so you have a pretend life of joy. Meaning y'all ain't happy. I think about Miley Cyrus and what her life was like as a poor person before Billy Ray became famous. And I think to myself, I bet that was a really good life. I bet that was a really freaking good life. Billy Ray going down to the club on Friday night. Let's say he's faithful, because he probably wasn't. Honey, I'm going to go play at the honky tonk tonight. Do you want to go, or are you going to stay in with the kids? My mom can watch them. I'd love to go. Okay, let's go. And maybe that's not what happened, but that's what happens in my life with Travis Barker on the drums. No, honey, I don't really feel like going tonight. I trust you. And then he comes home and tells me all the bullshit. And I'm like, honey, I don't give a shit about them. I trust you. Okay, I have to tell you something that happened. This hoe came over to me and I wasn't paying attention and she kissed me. And then we're going to have some problems. Because that's the moment that then my mind gets fueled by the psychosis that you put upon our relationship. And that's what happened between me and Gary Vaynerchuk. He had my utmost complete trust. My utmost complete trust that I could trust him. And I'm not talking in a relationship as in sex and stuff. I'm talking about in everything. I trust in you. I trust your word. I trust who you are. Now imagine you trusting someone 100% with your heart, and then for you to open up page 6 of VCon where you're at, and to watch him kiss another woman in front of everyone, and imagine the break of the tower of trust. And then he still has the expectation for me to trust him as he's flying all over the globe with her as she's telling you how beautiful their life is together. And enjoying the pain that I feel inside over it. However, I've developed myself to be a lot stronger, meaning I can handle looking at it now where I do not give a shit. That's normal society at this time that they've tried and created for you in relationship. Well, if Gary Vaynerchuk can cheat on his wife and she's da-da-da-da, well, then I'm going to do it too. Clearing for the space. Well, if Gary Vaynerchuk never spends any time with his kids, well, then I'm not going to spend any time with my kids either. Well, you know, if Gary Vaynerchuk is hanging out with the Be Kind guy who's totally evil, then I'm going to hang out with him too. And I'm going to buy all their products. And he's evil as shit, where he actually goes to the ranch where Epstein is. And he does really weird shit to people, like shoves shampoo bottles at people's behinds. But you know, Gary Vaynerchuk, I trust him 100%. And so that's why we're going to utilize Gary Vaynerchuk to go to all these different people, places. And this goes for everyone across the board, from Ryan Reynolds to Matthew McConaughey to Julia Roberts to Ben Affleck, to all of you. However, on the flip side of that, they try to disempower you with low self-esteem, remind you how much you love the work, mind manipulate you as well, and you just stand around with your thumbs up your ass with your hands out for your paycheck. Then you claim that money doesn't matter, which is what Gary Vaynerchuk does. I'd rather cry in my Ferrari, or whatever you say. I still don't see nobody crying in their Ferraris yet, Gary, because you sure is happy as hell with your son and your little heart. Going to the Jets game every weekend, showing up at Mona's house every weekend, and saying you're so lucky, your life is so happy. Meanwhile, our son is asking for your help, and you say, well, find a mentor. Well, what the fuck do you think you are? You better be mowing that lawn. He said he was. Well, this is Gary. Well, I don't let my children on the internet. However, it's the number one place that they should be because they're getting left behind. I don't want anyone to know that you're my kid. That's real empowering for them. That shows what family is all about in relationship to business, because Donald Trump Jr. used to sit under Donald's desk while he worked. And they were in the magazines together and stuff, and it was really quite a lovely relationship. And now take a look at Donald Trump Jr. and what Donald Trump Jr. was able to accomplish. However, he'd rather hang out with Mona Vand and miss Thanksgiving with his own 2 children. Unless that he introduced them to her as she's claiming that she's going to get pregnant. As she's claiming she's about to get pregnant, did you sell your sperm, Gary? And that is how the CIA operates. And I was totally digressing. I'm supposed to be talking about the secret team, or the substitution as a defense. It's like, y'all are just unfucking believable. It's like the fact that you cannot see this and what this means for society is selfish. You who believe that God is fear made but one substitution. God did not do this. COVID. He said it was necessary to unravel and uncover the demons and shit. This is the battle of good versus evil. This is the evolution of the age of Aquarius. Evolution is real. Substitution as a defense. You who believe that God is fear made but one substitution. It has taken many forms because it was a substitution of illusion for truth, a fragmentation for wholeness. It has become so splintered and divided again over and over that it is now almost impossible to perceive it once was one and still is what it was. That one error which brought truth to illusion, infinity to time, and life to death was all you ever made. Your whole world rests upon it. Everything you see reflects it, and every special relationship which you have ever made is part of it. There's only one special relationship. The special relationship is God, which is in this book. It's not in this chapter. You have expressed, and although that's a perspective shift, meaning Gary Vaynerchuk cannot be a special relationship in the way that God is a special relationship. Because what he did to me is a example of what happens when you value someone in that perspective as a special relationship. Imagine if I didn't have my relationship with God as a special relationship, and knowing what he did to me in front of all of you, and none of you said anything, means y'all ain't special. You've expressed surprise at hearing how very different is reality from what you see. You do not realize the magnitude of that error. It was so vast and so completely incredible that from it a world of total unreality had to emerge. What else could come of it? Its fragmented aspects are fearful enough as you begin to look at them, but nothing you have seen begins to show you the enormity of the original error, which seemed to cast you out of heaven, to shatter knowledge into meaningless bits of united perceptions and to force you to further substitutions. Me? Real life relationship? That? Fake shit. You choose fake shit? Choose fake shit. I've got my special relationship with God. I'm an empowered being. The way you act doesn't define me. That was the first projection of error outward. That was the photograph on Instagram. The world arose to hide it and became the screen on which it was projected and drawn between you and the truth. For truth extends inward where the idea of loss is meaningless and only increase is conceivable. Do you really think it is strange that a world in which everything is backwards and upside down arose from this? It was inevitable. For truth brought to this could only remain within quiet and take no part in all the mad projection by which the world was made. Then you all made thoughts around it all, made up your own narrative in association with it, and then he's continuously painted the picture, and then I continuously plastered down the picture. Every single time I said, that is not real, that is not real, that is not real, that is not real, that is not real. Take a look at his face. Mona in the comment section as he tries to hide it. Call him out, tell him he's embarrassing. And you still say nothing. Call it not sin, but madness, for such it was and so still remains. Invest in not with guilt, for guilt implies it was accomplished in reality. And above all, be not afraid of it. Yeah, I ain't afraid of that crap. You know I love you, Gary. When you seem to see some twisted form of the original error rise to frighten you, say only, God is not fear but love, and it will disappear. God is not fear, God is love. The truth will save you if it has not left you to go out into the mad world and so depart from you. Inward is sanity, and sanity is outside you. You but believe it is the other way. The truth is outside, and error and guilt within. Your little senseless substitutions touched with insanity and swirling lightly off on a mad course like feathers, dancing insanely in the wind, have no substance. They fuse and merge and separate and shifting in totally meaningless patterns which need not be judged at all. To judge them individually is pointless. Their tiny differences in form are no real differences at all. None of them matters that they have in common and nothing else. Yet what else is necessary to make them all the same? Let them all go dancing in the wind, dipping and turning till they disappear from sight far, far outside you, and then turn you to the stately calm within. There in holy stillness dwells the living God you never left and who never left you. The Holy Spirit takes you gently by the hand and retraces with your mad journey outside yourself, leading you gently back to the truth and safety within. Oh, dang, I wish I had that kind of journey. He brings all your insane projections and your wild substitutions which you have placed outside you to the truth. Thus, he reverses the courses of insanity and restores you to reason. In your relationship where he has taken charge of everything, at your request, he has set the course inward to the truth you share. In the mad world outside you, nothing can be shared but only substituted, and sharing and substituting have nothing in common in reality. Within yourselves you love each other with a perfect love. Here is holy ground in which no substitution can enter, and where only the truth about each other can abide. Here you are joined in God as much together as you are with him. The original error has not entered here, nor will ever will. Here is a radiant truth to which the Holy Spirit has committed your relationship. Let him bring it here where you would have it be. Give him but a little faith to each other to help him show that no substitute you made for heaven can keep you from it. In you there is no separation, no substitute can keep you from each other. Your reality has God's creation and has no substitute. You're so firmly joined in truth that only God is there, and he would never accept something else instead of you. He loves you both equally and as one, and he loves you so you are. You are not joined together in illusions, but in the thought so holy and so perfect that illusions cannot remain to darken the holy place in which you stand together. God is with you, my brothers. Let us join in him in peace and gratitude and accept his gift as our most holy and perfect reality, which we share in him. Heaven is restored to all the sonship through your relationship, for in it lies the sonship, whole and beautiful, safe in your love. Heaven has entered quietly, for all illusions have been gently brought unto the truth in you, and love has shined upon you, blessing your relationship with truth. God and his whole creation have entered it together. How lovely and how holy is your relationship with the truth shining upon it. Heaven beholds it and rejoices that you have let it come to you, as God himself is glad that your relationship is at his... Hey, have you talked to God today? Hey, God. Oh my God, you should hear what God told me. So hilarious. The universe within you stands with you together, and heaven looks with you, and heaven looks with love on what is joined in it along with its creator. No, something weird's going on, y'all. Whom God has called should hear no substitutes. Their call is but an echo of an original error which shattered heaven. And what became of peace in those who heard return with him to heaven, walking together out of this world and through another to the loveliness and joy and other holds within it. Would you still further weaken and break apart what is already broken and hopeless? Is it here that you would look for happiness, or would you not prefer to heal what has been broken and join in making whole what has been ravaged by separation and disease? Dis-ease. You have been called together to the most holy function that this world contains. It is the only one which has no limits and reaches out to every broken fragment of the sonship with healing and uniting comfort. This is offered you in your holy relationship. Accept it here, and you will give as you have accepted. The peace of God is given you, the glowing purpose in which you join. The holy light that brought you together must extend as you accepted it. And that's that. There's a lot in this book to be learned. A lot of words in here. There's a lot of landmark work that needs to be learned. There's a lot of Baptiste yoga methodology that needs to be learned. There's a lot of actions that need to be done. There's a lot of communications lessons that can be created, and all of it can be evolved, and you associate it within the internet structures. And that's the truth. They just have been using the internet against us, and you guys act like it's this up and coming thing. You're going to tell me you're going to use all my languaging, and now you're going to make fake articles, and then the government's going to utilize them against us. That's what the Democratic Party is up to. And then you're still not going to pay me for all my hard work and efforts while my parents have to pay for my car payment? While I lost my career, which makes me want to cry? Because people who don't have a career do not understand the experience of going to work on a daily basis and feel like you're making a difference for people. Because you don't have that capacity of mindset. You only care about your fucking money pockets. Why the hell do you think I wake up every freaking morning and do these damn videos? I'm chained to this fucking chair, and then I have to sit there and listen to my family tell me, when are you going to get a job? While Gary Vaynerchuk flies around the world looking like he's in love with some trash heap while you all cheer it on. And then he shows me hearts. And I ain't crying over that shit. I'm crying over the fact that my career is ended. My career in dental hygiene has ended because of Gary Vaynerchuk, and I used to make 80 grand a year. And that was enough money for me. Because he made empty promises to me, and then he ends up hooking up and kissing another woman in front of all of you, and you all cheered and laughed at it as if I was the joke. Meanwhile, she tormented and tortured you, him, and the staff, and you allowed her to treat you that way because she looks a certain way, because she occurs a certain way, and you were too blind to a facade to notice who she actually is, which is a horror show. That is that for our discussion on A Course in Miracles. It's not really what I wanted to have a discussion on, but it is what it is.